Welcome back to the third episode of the Get Buckets podcast, powered by Hardwood Inc. Media. I'm your host, Musa Moretti, and today I have a special guest. You know he's from Philly, actually on his way to Minnesota right now. Got to catch him on the way there. My mentor slash just best friend in general, Nick Dennis.
Hey man, that was a wonderful intro. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man, you really cold at this podcast, bro. So that's what's up, man.
Yeah, thank you. You know, my second guest on here. Glad to have you on. Like family to me at this point. So this one really touches home, at least. I mean, not like you're here anymore though, but.
I've been promoted to family, bro.
Yes, sir. So basically, today I got a series of subjects I'll be covering on with you. You know, we've been chilling all through like the summer, the fall, basically. And, you know, I just thought I'd talk to you basically about life in general. You know, going, 24 years into your life, obviously. We like to make that clear. 24 years. But basically, to start things off, let's just, you know, on your way to Minnesota, everybody got to be wondering, like, what's going on? Like, who would move to Minnesota from South Carolina and in the wintertime? Like, what's going on with that?
Yeah, man. So, thanks for clarifying my age too. 24, 24. I'm blessed. I really am, especially being from a city like you mentioned, Philadelphia, where I'm currently at, visiting some family before I dip to Minnesota. I think that right there actually answers the question, because you got to start from the beginning, you know, to get to the end. So just being from a city like Philadelphia, a lot of people don't get out the city, get out the state, Pennsylvania. So it was more so like a blessing for me to be able to have the opportunity to travel. I'm doing an interview right now. I'm at family's house, bro. Just visiting. That's probably my little niece. She's supposed to be asleep, but yeah. So, a lot of people don't get out the city, man, and I'm very blessed to have the opportunity. Oh, it's my nephew. What's up, bro? I'm doing an interview right now, bro. Yeah.
Do you want pizza?
Y'all want pizza?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. I'm doing an interview. I'll be done in about 15 minutes. Okay.
Are you my favorite tool about food?
Yes, I see that. Okay, close it. Okay, you can just close it. You don't have to lock it. Thank you. Hey, man. So, yeah, man, that's my nephew right there, man. I miss that guy. But yeah, I just came to Philly to see family before I dipped that far out. But but like I was saying, you don't really get to. It's a blessing to even, you know, get out of Philly and see the age of 18. So the fact that I'm 24, it just gave me reason to just keep going, and it inspired me to go far, like somewhere like Minnesota, just to see what it's about, just to see what I'm about. I don't have really any family out there at all, so it's going to be a challenge, and that's what I look forward to in life. Just embrace the different challenges, man. So I know people here in Minnesota, and they're like, what in the world? So long story short, I got a job opportunity out there, and I decided to take it. So that's the reason why I'm heading to Minnesota.
Hey, like you're saying, it's hard to get out of Philly. Like Meek Mill once said, you know, if you're not dead or in jail, you're winning. So
yeah, and those are rap lyrics, but it's really true. It's the city, man, and inner city Philly is pretty tough, bro. It's a beautiful city, but you know, every city has its you know, its things. So it's a city of brotherly love. So I'm gonna use this podcast to try to do a positive affirmation. The city needs more brotherly love, but in the future, in due time. So yeah,
sir. And now since we got that covered, like, also I would say, since we're talking about like what you be doing in Minnesota, like what do you hope to achieve in the near or far future with moving, or even just with your life in general?
Yeah, bro, appreciate it. In my life in general, I'll start with that. Just to continue to inspire, bro. I mean, this is beautiful for me to be on the podcast. Just to continue to motivate, inspire, and like it's all about the younger generation. And then even after you, it's all about the generation after you. And then after that generation is about the next generation. So just having an impact on the future generations is what I'm about. And then in Minnesota, just doing that on a small scale, just doing that. I'm specifically going to St. Paul, Minnesota. So
capital.
The capital. Yeah, I'm going to try to do my best and spread positivity, spread my light, spread my wisdom.
Yeah, spread what you learn.
Continue to mentor, whether it's in the sports field or whatever, or whatever they want to get into. Lend them my knowledge and what I know, and that's what I enjoy doing. So, yeah,
that's what's up. Yeah. So I mean, you've always seemed like you're one to give back to what you like learned, give back to the community almost. Obviously, your community we're not technically giving back to your old community, but more like spreading the wisdom that you've learned from your community and giving it to a new one. Start something from the ground up, basically. That's always good to see. And
that's what happened. That's what happened to me. Not to cut you off. I was given an opportunity that I wasn't really supposed. I guess I wasn't really supposed to get. Many don't get. But my parents gave me an opportunity moving from Philadelphia to South Carolina when I was like 8. And the reasoning is because of school, better schooling, better opportunity. So with that, all I can do is try to pay it forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they literally moved us out of a bad environment to a great one.
Yeah. Great
schools. The South is known for, spacious land. It's really not too much to get into. You can find trouble, but if that's what you're looking for, but it's really not too much to get into. It's very positive. The weather's great. You know what I mean? So, all I can do is pay it forward.
Yeah, that Southern hospitality for sure. So you said you moved to South Carolina because of schooling. Like, at what age? Where did you move down?
Yeah, man. So I was like 8 years old. My parents were like, yeah, we moving to South Carolina. I was like, no, I haven't really thought about it until you just asked me. But I was like a little kid just going along with the wind. You don't know anything.
Yeah,
I've never. Okay. I mean, I think I was just old enough to start learning about states. So
yeah.
I remember we used to take trips to like Florida. I remember that. You know what I mean? Like we went to Disney World.
Yeah.
But other than that, I never really been that far. So, I took a little bit of home with me, but not that much. I mean, I was like 8. So, so that's what it was really about, man. Just to giving us a fair shot at life. You know what I mean? Like, just giving us a fair shot at education. Even the education is different in the South than the North. So, for sure. And when you got, I got 3 sisters, but I can speak for the boys that my parents have. It's just like, it's easy. It's easy for us to get caught up in what we can get caught up into. So, especially in the
easy
city.
to pull a trigger. It's easy to pull a trigger. But it ain't easy to move your mom out the hood. You got me thinking about it.
If we're going to quote Meek Mill lyrics this whole bar, let's do it, bro. We can go bar for bar right now.
Bar for bar. They want to see me fall. I will never.
I'm going to pull out some of that Munch freestyle for you.
Oh, good. That was no way. That's wild.
That's wild.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
But let's go. So you move here. You're like 8 years old. You know, a youngin, just coming up. But I guess I'd say, everyone kind of. I wouldn't say we all have the same childhood, but let's say you're now middle school. Like, when did you like this? What was middle school like, basically, and flow into high school almost?
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. Middle school was a lot like it was like there was a lot of growing up for me. That's when I first came conscious, like girls, TV shows, movies, songs.
Yeah,
I think Wiz Khalifa just came out. Black and Yellow just came out. I don't even know if you heard of that track, but
yes, I have.
Yeah, who was hot? Lil Wayne was hot.
Lil Wayne.
What was the movie back then? What was the movie?
Fast and Furious.
Was Fast and Furious? I can't think of any specific movies that was hot, but I would have to think about it. But just to kind of give our audience a little grasp of what era, what type of time it was.
So old.
Yeah, Drake was on the come up. Nicki was on the come up. Meek Mill was on the come up. Like
Meek Mill.
it was that middle school was that for me. You're a jerk. You're a jerk just came out. So like wearing skinny jeans and
teach me how to Dougie.
Teach me how to Dougie just came out. Like it was like that dance era for real. Like TikTok wasn't around. TikTok wasn't really around. Facebook was definitely popping, but like people would dance, but it wasn't like that. It was more like lean with it, rock with it, Soulja Boy, create that Soulja Boy was just out like, so that's the type of that's the type of music that was in. So like people wasn't wearing like basketball jerseys and long tees and big jeans.
Yeah.
That's like the early 2000s, but middle school was a lot like that for me. And it was just about just being a regular kid, just doing what was trending, whether that was like trying to learn how to jerk or, trying to date my first little girlfriend or whatever, thinking I was grown. But that's what middle school was about for me. For our audience that's from Greenville, I went to Malden Middle. And then, I would later go into, I went to a few different high schools, but I went to Greenville High School, Legacy Early College, and then I finished up at a military school in Columbia, South Carolina, called Fort Jackson. So I went to Southside for a little bit too. I went to a lot of high schools, but yeah, hope I answered your question.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, you always talk about. I feel like out of all the high schools I hear you talk about, you're always speaking about Legacy Early College and how it was a good opportunity for you and all that.
It's funny you mentioned that because that's what changed for me. I think I was just going along with the system, Malden Middle. A lot of my friends with the Malden High. Just deciding which high school I was going to go to, and then Legacy was actually a new school, and my parents. Somebody was talking to my parents about it, and they were just like, "Hey, it sounds like a great opportunity." Yeah, sent me and my sister there. So I have a twin sister, and we're like the youngest set. So my older brother and sister, they had went all 4 years. They went to Greenville High School.
Okay.
So, but Legacy wasn't really around then. So right when we got into high school, we went to Legacy, and we had to wear uniforms, and it was all about college credits. It was all about achieving, the best that being the best you could be, achieving your goals. It was a small school, like I said, it was really new, and it wasn't part of the Greenville County. It was a part of a private school, whatnot, or charter school.
Yeah, the charter.
Yeah. So it was very different, and it was just a perfect fit for me. So I rock with Legacy. Yeah, I like the opportunity that it gives people till this day. So.
Since that's what's up. But I was gonna say, since it is the Get Buckets podcast, I gotta say, what was I guess your relation to sports like for you personally, like growing up and all that?
Yeah, so big sports family, especially my dad. I played a lot of sports growing up, but just to keep it tied in, Legacy. I hooped at Legacy JV. Um, when like Gage Ellis, Juwan Evans.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was a charter school, so it was like a big basketball school, and it allowed them to play the non-Greenville County schedule, so they traveled, played a lot of
Yeah.
prep academies. But I was on that JV squad when those guys were on varsity, so a lot of people know those names.
Yeah.
But at
Sure.
Legacy, I played soccer, I did track, I did basketball,
Okay.
and then at Greenville I did football. But you know, I was a sports. I did sports to be. I like to be social. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I never really. Every young buck has the thought of playing at the next level. But when you're really doing it, it depends on how serious you're taking it, whether you do that or not. Um,
Yeah. For
and
sure.
then it was at Legacy when I actually had the realization, like, nah, fam, you're not going to any next level in any sport.
Yeah.
So, and that a lot had to do with maturity, but a lot had to do with just knowing that my athletic ability wasn't gonna get me there. So I just had to start thinking with my brain, and that's
Mm.
what got me into media. Um,
I
not
see.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that was your next question, but I'm gonna go ahead and roll with it.
I
But
mean, yeah, that's a good transition right there.
yeah, so I was sitting on the bench a lot in my sports I was playing. So
Watching
I
from the
just start.
sideline.
Yeah, man. I was on the team, but I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
just on
Yeah.
the bench. So I just like started to be a nerd of the game. Like I just started watching for like stats and stuff. You know what I mean? Just start being a nerd of the
Yeah.
game. One day I was watching, and I was watching a varsity practice. You know,
Mm.
and I think my dad was like late to pick me up or something. With a rare time, my parents were really never really late. Maybe I forgot to tell them. Maybe I
Yeah.
told them
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
had practice late or something like that. Because my parents were awesome, but uh, I'm just waiting on a ride, bro. And I go to watch the varsity play practice, and I take out my phone and I start writing about what I saw. It was like
Yeah.
journal. It was like real journalism, but at the time I didn't know I was being a journalist. I thought I
Yeah. You
was
just kind
just.
of.
I didn't know what I was doing, but right
Yeah.
there in that gym is where I discovered, my passion. I took out my notes and I just started. I was just like, "Hey, coach, BJ, you know, and the current records. Start writing about the current records. Start writing about some of the players, and I had a whole article, and then
That's
I
what's
didn't know
up.
what I was doing until I shared it. I think with my family or somebody, and they were just like, "Yo, you just did journalism. Like, you might want to look into
Yeah.
that." So that's how it started.
That's how it all started. Yeah. It was more of a hobby at first rather than taking it to like serious, basically.
Y- Yeah, man, I sat on that. I was in high school when I did that,
Yeah.
and I sat on that for years. I flirted with it like a little bit. Like I would do it here and there, but nobody knew. Like I'm not telling my friends that I'm doing this.
Mm.
I'm not.
Yeah.
It's not now more. It's kind of crazy to say, but entrepreneurship or getting your thing that you do out there, it wasn't like that back. Like not to mean like I'm super old, but it
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
really like that back then. Like now entrepreneurship is cool, it's good, it's like awesome, it's like
Everybody.
the thing. But
Everybody
like
wants to
back
make their
then
own
it was
money
like,
for sure.
yeah, it was just like cool. Like this is what I'm doing. I didn't even know anything about money. I didn't even know what it can be. I didn't even know you can get paid for writing about sports at all. So
Yeah. Was it?
I held on to it.
I was gonna say. Was that more of like a? I guess a way to escape. I guess for you. Outside of.
It was.
Yeah.
It was, bro. Because it was just me and that paper. Whether I was
Yeah.
typing it on my phone or writing it, it was, bro. And it was a way for me to be a nerd because nobody knew about it.
Yeah.
You know. So I was a nerd in my own space, bro.
You
And
got
I
space
had
for
plenty of
yourself.
art. Yeah, I had plenty of articles that I just wrote. Whether it was
Hmm.
about the NBA or sometimes college season would be in, I'd be watching Duke, and I just start writing an article about it, just for myself. I wish I could
Yeah.
find those papers, but
Yeah.
they're somewhere, probably at my people's career. But I just started writing, and then it wasn't until I graduated. You go through senior year, you go like now that I'm older. So that was like early high school. That was like ninth, 10th grade. But now that I'm
Okay.
graduating, and I gotta try to find my next step in life.
Yeah.
It just hit me. I was like, oh yeah, I do like journalism. I do like writing. So that's when I got into media. You know what I mean? I just started to pick it up, and then I got to shout out to my guy Darion Clinton, man.
Yeah.
He played basketball at Legacy, and
Okay.
he hit me. He was like, "I'm sure you heard of Phenom Hoops."
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, and if you're in the Southeast, you definitely heard of Phenoms. It's like an exposure uh, company for up and coming high school basketball players. They rank players and whatnot. And um, my friend, he's like currently playing basketball. You know what I mean? So he's just like, "Yo, you ever thought about hitting up Rick Lewis from Phenoms, like the owner?" I'm looking at the phone like he crazy. I'm like, the
Hmm.
owner
Yeah.
hitting him up. What are you talking about? He was like, "Nah, bro, like." Because at this point, I'm sharing my articles and stuff with him. He's like, "Nah, bro, you need to hit him up, man. Like, you know, he gonna mess with you. He gonna rock with you." Did I hit him up? Never looked back since, bro. Uh, I hit him up. I got on the phone with him. I
Hmm.
was like, "Yeah, I'm a journalist." He gave me a shot. I started writing articles for Phenoms.
Mm.
That was my first time ever getting paid for writing about basketball.
Yeah.
And you
How old
know,
are you?
bro, I was like 18, 19 years old.
Hey, fresh out.
Nah, yeah, bro. I didn't realize it then, but I was definitely tapped in at the age that I was at, cause
Yeah.
I was like a writer, like I was on staff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Um,
So
you
I gotta
know,
ask though, like just so I guess the audience like gauges like the basically what I was gonna ask was the definition of media, because I feel like some people may think of it as like recording or interviews, but you're talking about it almost in a writing standpoint, like the
well,
journalism.
yeah, it's very interesting, man. That's a
Yeah.
great question, bro.
Yeah,
Good question.
I just
Anytime
was
you're doing
wondering about
interview,
that.
anytime you're doing interviews and somebody stop to say that's a great question, you know you killing it. You know you cold. You know you cold.
Yeah.
No, that is a great question because that's not only like, bro. I gotta take a second to like big you up, bro, because
Yeah,
you as the interviewer, you took a second to stop and think of what the audience might be wondering. So like
for sure, for sure.
bro, you right there. You got a
Right
talent, sir. You
there.
got a skill. For you to
Gotta
be in the
try
middle of
it.
the interview and be like, wait, I gotta ask him this because our audience might not know. Like that's
Yeah.
perfect. So yeah, to answer your question, bro.
Mm.
Um, media, yeah. The definition. I wish I can give you like the book definition, but yes,
Yeah.
I started out. There's different aspects of media. It's really broad. So it's like I started out personally writing, like
Okay.
journalism. So
Yeah.
like sports journalism to be specific, because there's journalism where you pick up the newspaper and
Yeah.
read the Washington Post or the New York Times, you know, and you're reading about politics or you're reading about uh, health insurance or you're reading about the news. So sports journalism to be specific, but that's still media. Anything published and put out to the public is considered media. And then, it's not until I got older where you're tackling different aspects of media. So it can be paper, it can be interviews, it can be television, it can be news reporting, it can be um, social media posts. All that
Yeah.
counts as media. So yeah,
It's just like getting out whatever. What's the word I'm looking for?
yeah. Anytime you're covering your respected industry,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So even
You're
if you're
promoting.
like,
Is you like
yeah, you're
promoting
promoting, bro.
almost?
So if
Yeah.
you were like, bro, I'm about to pick up this popcorn and go pop it,
Yeah.
and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna record you doing that. Like
Yeah.
I'm covering you doing like I'm media now. I'm putting that out there. And you're popping popcorn, and I'm catching every second of it. And I'm telling the
Yeah.
people what I think about it or whatever. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
yeah,
So where were we? Your life story. So you're 18, 19. Who's the you got the call from? Did you say Rick Lewis?
yeah. Rick Lewis is his name, owner of Phenoms, and
Okay.
that's what kind of jumped it all off, man. So
Yeah.
uh, a
So
lot of the
after that, what's it looking like at like once you start writing for Phenom Hoops?
Yeah, so I know we don't got a lot of time, so I'll just kind of highlight different points, bro. Like,
We got
at that
time. We
time,
got time.
cool, man. At that time,
Yeah.
you 18, so it's like, for males, you making that life decision of like what I'm gonna do next as far as manhood.
Mm.
So, you know, I didn't honestly. I went to Greenville Tech for like a semester or something, bro, just to like be going to school. But like
Mm.
I had my people in like Charlotte. I grew up with some. I grew up with some guys, like a family friend guys, and they lived in Charlotte, and they got a pad. They got a spot in Charlotte,
Oh,
and
okay.
they had like an extra room or whatever. Um, it was like, yeah, bro, you should come slide to Charlotte. And at the time, Phenoms was like, they did work in South Carolina, but it was like it's a North Carolina company, so I was like perfect, you know. And I just moved to Charlotte, bro. I wasn't in school. I just moved to Charlotte so I can continue to work with Phenoms. And then
Mm-hmm.
after that, bro, when you move to a bigger city, bro, you meet you so many opportunities. Like you meet so many people, and I'm big
Yeah.
on like I like talking, so
Yeah.
I'm
Social.
big
Big
on
social
networking,
guy.
bro. Yeah, big social guy, bro. So like when I'll be at these phenom events and tournaments doing my thing, I'll just be shaking hands and meeting people, and I started
Yeah.
getting asked to do, hey, can you come cover my event? Can you come cover my event? And I met so many people, bro. It's like, I mean, we would be talking for hours on, bro, how I exactly got to where I'm at. But
Mm.
like, to do that transition into different aspects of media, I think I met one person and he was just like, uh, he was telling me, "Oh, you do the writing, but it would be dope if you did
Yeah.
everything." So nobody, so they, yo, this person was like, "It would be dope if you did everything." So they can't just pay you for writing. They gotta pay you for pictures, video, writing, and interviewing. I was just
Yeah.
like, wow, that's some great advice. And I took him up on that offer, and
Yeah.
I picked up my first camera and I started doing videos. This was like prime mixtape era, like Ball's Life.
Okay.
So overtime was not a thing yet.
Hey,
Slam,
was it?
slam,
Was it?
slam. Overtime came about. If you even look it up, it came about in like 2018, um,
Okay.
2017. Yeah, 2017, 2018. Slam was not really a thing yet. Like Slam been around before me, but like Slam mixtape, like uh, like mixtapes were in its raw era, bro. Ball's Life was killing it. So I
Yeah.
picked the camera up and started doing that type of work. I did a little bit of photography.
Mm.
So now I'm getting booked for. I'm basically a freelancer in Charlotte, just doing basketball events. And people
Okay.
that's wondering why basketball is because I just gravitate towards basketball. I really like it.
You enjoy
Um,
it? Yeah.
I enjoy it, but as far as media goes, like I would not do other sports. Like I have
Yeah.
before. It's just basketball is my main thing. It's more
Mm-hmm.
it's more up and down. And it's a lot. Like I said, we be talking for a long time, but uh, yeah, just started to meet people going crazy. So just going to different events, doing articles, doing write ups, where you write about the players' talents, and then I'm doing video work, doing photography, and then one day, one of the companies that I was working with were just like, "Yo, you think you can interview this player?" Because I
Mm.
guess they just saw that I like talking. They was just like, "I've never done an
Yeah.
interview in my life." They was just like, "You think you can
Yeah.
interview this player?" So I was just like, "Okay, cool." So I didn't even do the interview where you like take the camera and then you interview them and you don't put your
Mm-hmm.
face in it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't do it that way. I just automatically got in front of the camera. I just
Yeah.
I just got in front of the camera and it was something about it. I was like, wow, I feel powerful. Never looked back ever since, bro. Uh, I started really doing a lot more interviews. So now I'm like a four-headed snake, bro. I'm doing articles, pictures, videos, and interviews. So
Yeah.
out in
Weird.
Charlotte, out in the city. You know what I mean?
At
Um,
like what? Age 20? Age 19? About.
yeah, age 19, 20, 21. So not
Okay.
only am I not only am I doing that, I'm just growing up as a person as well, bro. You know what I mean? I'm young too, so
Yeah.
just gaining life experiences. First time being away from home, not super far. It was just Charlotte. It's like
Yeah.
an hour 30 away from Greenville, but
It's a
um,
big opportunity. That's yeah.
yeah,
Good
man.
opportunity there.
Started working with a few companies that like so, bro. Like I won't go too deep into it, but when you make these connections, bro, it gets real, bro. So I started working with companies that was like flying me out to different states, bro, to do
Hmm.
interviews, bro. And I'm like, bro, you gonna fly me out,
Yeah.
pay for my hotel to go talk to somebody?
Uh-huh.
I didn't think it was
Okay.
serious at first, bro, but it was real, and that's when I started learning the business of it. And then
Yeah.
after I learned the business of it, I started coming up with my own prices because I gotta feed myself. I gotta live. I
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
pay for things.
So
You
you're
start
living on
doing
your
that, bro.
own.
It just.
I gotta say, are you living
Uh,
on your own, or are you still at the pad with your people?
at this time that I'm going through all this, I'm still
Yeah.
living. I still got roommates. I didn't live. My
Okay.
first apartment on my own was when I was 22.
All right.
My first apartment was in Greenville. I moved back to
Mm-hmm.
Greenville.
Move back to the
Yeah,
Ville. Yeah.
I moved back
So
to the Ville, but I was like never in the Ville. I was still traveling and stuff, so it was
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I moved back to the Ville because it was cheaper to live here.
Okay. Yeah. That's what a lot of people gravitate towards too. That's why a lot of people come over here, and why it's becoming such a populous city.
Nah, facts. Yeah, facts. Um, so yeah, so doing that, so when I
Yeah.
moved back to Greenville, I just started to I moved back to Greenville. So I graduated high school in 2016.
Yeah. Okay.
Doing everything I described, that's about 3 years. So 2017, 2018, 2019. I moved back and I'm just working on my craft. I'm working on a lot of things. And then bam. All right, if you do the math, that's like
Yeah.
2019. Everybody knows what's
COVID
coming up.
next. But I gotta say,
Everybody knows what's
wait.
coming.
So we're gonna say, wait, why did you want to move in by yourself and not stay in Charlotte?
Um, solely just it really nothing in particular, bro. So like really because it was
Just
cheaper
that.
and
Okay.
Charlotte's literally like an hour 30. So if I needed to be back in Charlotte for anything, it's nothing. Like it's whatever, bro. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Where?
and it was
So
my first time on my own. So when I say cheaper, like yeah, it definitely was beneficial for me to move back because I was paying for everything. I had a car note at the time. I had food. I had my
I
own
don't know.
apartment. It was
It seems like you just wanted to be independent. You didn't want to share with your. You didn't really want to share with having to
I
deal with like
mean,
two, three
yeah,
other people.
yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
Work on your
Everybody
own
goes to
time.
that point. Yeah, everybody goes to that point in life, bro. I think everybody should live by with themselves. Learn how to live with yourself for a little while, bro. You're gonna talk to
Yeah.
yourself. I talk to myself every day in that apartment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to Pelham Road, man. Right there by Haywood Mall, bro.
Y'all
I
know
talk
where
to
that is.
myself.
Thanks.
I talk to myself every day in that apartment, bro.
So it's 2020. I gotta ask though before, because you did do interviews for Upstate, right? Correct.
Yup. That upstate opportunity came right when I moved back home.
So like 2019, about
Yep, 2019, right before COVID.
how
I
was that?
started to try to, I tried to piece everything I was doing,
Mm,
and I wanted to take it to the next level. And I remember, so I didn't really go to college, so
mm,
I made a resume, I made a YouTube reel of like
mm-hmm.
all my interviews that I was doing and everything, and bro, I started applying. I started sending emails. Like I got online and started looking up staff directory. That's my favorite thing to do, and that's a gem that I'm gonna drop into everybody. Listen, look up staff directories,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a job you want, a company, a school, whatever. They're gonna give you all the information, emails, phone numbers. I don't know. It's been so many times that I've literally typed in like, we talking about upstate, and that's literally what I did. USC Upstate Staff Directory. Okay, you go to their staff. What department are you trying to get in touch with? Harass them. Please harass. Okay,
Harass them.
don't
That's
really harass
wild.
them, but don't really harass them, but really harass them. Like
Yeah.
really, like I remember calling like, hey, my name is Nicholas Dennis. I'm actually just wondering if you guys have an opening for such and such, whatever it was. Oh, actually we do. Like so, that's just a quick gem. But
Quick
yeah,
jump.
so I'm applying to like hella schools to like work in their media sports department. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
To do interviews. You would classify this as sideline reporting specifically. So I sent
Yeah.
a lot of I sent a lot of stuff out to a lot of different schools, and then ironically, USC Upstate is the one school that actually responded to me. No other school responded to me but USC Upstate. And
And
I
it was a
went
yes.
into it. No, they scheduled an interview,
Oh, okay.
and so I interviewed them, and I was just like, "Yeah, I've never done college basketball in my life, but I'm this type of guy." I showed them what I had, and they gave me a shot. I'm
That's what's
forever
up.
respectful, and yeah, it took me to that next level, bro. You start meeting producers, you start meeting executive producers, you start meeting a real body of media team, because when you're working with a college athletic department, bro, there's contracts involved. They play on TV, so they play on ESPN. They play on an actual network.
D1.
Um,
Make sure everybody knows USC Upstate is D1.
right, D1, bro. So
Yeah.
uh, I didn't even know at the time that they played on ESPN. Like, so when I'm calling the games, like I'm on ESPN, I did not know that. I did not know that. Uh, you know,
That's what's up.
so
Yeah.
basically, ESPN, uh, mails them or gives them everything that they need as far as the microphone, the headsets, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So my so I'll tell this quick little story, bro. So I do the interview and I get the job. I never told you this before. So I get the interview, I get the job. This is around November. Basketball season starts like around November. So I'm in I'm at work because I'm working at UPS part time at the time too. Because it's hard to like do sports full time. It's either you're in or you're out. You know what I mean? So I got a part
Correct.
time
Yeah.
job at UPS. I'm also doing my sports thing, but doing my media. But I'm working part time at UPS, which is a whole nother subject. You gotta balance.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have that balance. But I remember, bro, I'm on my lunch break, and I work near Harris Teeter, and I go into
Yeah.
the Harris Teeter to get something for lunch, and I get a call from the producer at USC Upstate, bro. He says, "Hey Nick, I know we hired you to do interviews on the sideline, but we're short staffed and we need a play-by-play color commentator."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those, so
Okay.
those, this is the introduction to how I got into that. So those are the guys you see that wear the
Yeah.
headset
Yeah.
that go,
I saw
LeBron
you doing
James.
that.
Yeah, LeBron James goes in for the layup. Oh, he shoots the ball. Why do you think he shot the ball? Oh, LeBron James. So those are the
It was
guys
him.
commentating the
Yeah.
game and they quarterback the game, and I'm kind of a nerd, so now that I'm into it, it's really poetry. It is. So, because there's a reason. So there's a play-by-play guy, which is the guy that's doing the play-by-play. So that means LeBron James walking the ball up the court, like he's literally telling the people what they're seeing. And then they call it color commentating because the color commentator adds color to like a blank canvas.
Yeah.
So the play-by-play person is telling you that LeBron's walking the ball up the court, but the color commentator is telling you why he's doing that or what does he look like when he's doing that. Oh yeah, he's walking the ball up the court, but he looks really tired. Like you're adding color to like a black and white picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so yeah. Long story short, I get a call and he's like, "Yeah, I know you're like 20 years old, and I know that we hired you to do that, and I know you've never been on ESPN before, but we need you to do play by play today, like,
That's what's
or
up.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
whenever it was. It was mad soon. It
Mm-hmm.
was like next week." And I was just like,
Okay.
"Okay." Like I didn't know what else
Yeah.
is like. What am I? Okay, like okay,
Okay.
sure,
Sure. Yeah.
bro,
Word.
bro. My first ever time putting on a headset. Like I want people to sit with this. I've never done this in my life. My
Mm-hmm.
first time doing it was on ESPN.
Dang.
So that's like
That's
never.
major.
That's like not having a license, not knowing how to drive, and your first time you're driving is in a Ferrari.
And I
So
always
you can
hear,
imagine that game was trash, bro.
you always hear like, what's the word? Like they always are trying to say like you gotta have like leave this much space for just like the audience to like watch the game, and then but you gotta talk in these situations, and there's like it's so much. There's actually more than you think that goes into it.
It's
Like, you
more
don't
than
want to
you
be
think, bro.
talking. You don't want to be talking the whole time, but you want to make sure like they still understand what's going on. That's what I
It's
always
more than
hear.
you think. Yeah, it's more
Yeah.
than you think. It's like riding a bike, and it's like learning how to walk, bro. It's like you want to get on there, be loose, and be yourself, but you're actually nervous. You're like a deer in headlights, and you won't really get comfortable until you learn the craft first. So like all the things you're saying, learn when to talk, learn
Hmm.
how to talk, learn how loud you should talk,
Articulate, articulate your words.
articulate your words, learn how to read the person next to you and not talk over him.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I was saying.
yeah, and then you get into actually being you, like adding your words, adding your language, being cool,
Your
doing
vernacular.
your vernacular, man. So so
Yeah.
so so yeah, my first game was just trash, bro. It was horrible. Like, but and then people also don't notice those announcers have the producers in their head and their ear the whole time, the whole
Bro,
time,
they're
the
talking to
whole
you.
the whole time. So imagine,
Dang.
have you ever tried to do something while someone's talking to you? Like,
Yeah. It's like it's kind of like
it's
a it doesn't isn't it like a quarterback basically.
yeah, like a quarterback. Like,
Yeah.
but it's like, bro, like I'm trying to
They're like
watch the
coaching you.
game, keep up with the stats, and
Hmm.
I have a producer in my ear saying a lot. I can't even go through a lot of
Yeah.
things that they're telling, because the producers is like a producer is like almost like they're running the show. So like
Okay. It's
they
like
have to make sure
director.
that they have to make sure that this graphic comes up here. They got to make sure they let you know when this commercial is about to come up here. They got to
Okay.
make sure that you're doing the sponsorship read. So when you hear like this free throw is sponsored by Hardee's, or this
Yeah. Okay.
this game is sponsored by Toyota, like they're saying all that while you're talking. It's like a lot, bro. So,
Yeah.
but I looking back on it, I respect them for putting me in that environment, for the first time. Cause now I'm like
Sure.
cold at it. I'm just like it's nothing. Like throw me
You're
back
him.
out there. I
You're
mean,
him.
I got a lot of work to do for sure, but but yeah. So I can talk a lot, as you know. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Big social guy. Like I said. All right. So and then all right. One other thing I gotta ask about like this whole college experience, like in doing the interviews and being on set. So I saw you went over to South Carolina, and you said you got to actually you got to interview one of their players and as well be one of like the media people when the what's her name? Remind me her name. When who were you interviewing
you talking
over
about
in
for the USC Gamecocks?
yeah, the girl, the women's coach. I feel kind of
Yeah, no, you good. Don
I said
Staley.
yeah, Don's Daily. Yeah, you
Yeah,
said
she's
you
from
got
Philly
the
too.
oh word.
She's from Philly too. Yeah.
Okay. How was
Yeah,
like that whole experience?
that was one of my first experience of actually just going back to like leveling up, bro. That was my first experience. I was working for a company who gave me immediate credentials to go out there and cover, the NCAA women's tournament, whatever. And that was my first experience of covering a team of that with that success.
Yeah,
And then also my first experiences are awesome. They're the best, but it's just like they're real. You know what I mean? Like media is real impact on
got
the
your feet
game.
wet.
It got my feet wet, bro. Like when people hear players say, "Yeah, we can't let people get in the locker room," they're talking about media, and it's real.
Yeah,
We can't let outside noise affect what we're doing.
yeah.
That is real. Media has a real impact. It's real.
Explain what you had told me that one time. How like the whole situation you had with
Yeah, man. So
Zaya Cook, was that her name?
no, it's not, she's there now. It was Cooper.
Okay.
Ted Cooper. Ted Cooper. You just it was my first time doing media. You're asking questions, and you know, I ask. Don Staley comes to the podium. This is like a post game thing, and you're asking
Hmm.
questions, and it's just like I asked a question about Cooper, and she answered it, and then the post game conference was over, but then they opened up availability to go into the locker room. So then I go into the locker room and I tell Cooper, like, hey, I just interviewed your coach, and your coach said this about you. And the coach didn't say anything negative. She said that Cooper was a leader. What'd she say? It was a few years ago now. But see, even stuff like this, you don't want to mess up. You never know who might, you know what I mean? But like, what did she say? She said something about Cooper being like a vocal leader, but could also work on being more like a something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just told Cooper what she said, and Cooper was just like, she kind of gave me a look like, my coach really said that? Like, you know what I mean? Just like, whether that was good or bad. I basically just played telephone with her coach.
Yeah. It just shows
I
you could have said
just
anything.
went in that locker room. Yeah, I just basically went in that locker room and said, he said, she said, basically, whether it was good or bad. So it was a good it was a good experience for me. And my device is on 1% right now, bro. So I was not aware of that. I hope it's not.
That's crazy. That's wild. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to keep the fans waiting.
Oh wait,
we're getting into it.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Oh, we're breaking up. Don't down on me now. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Okay, I put it on the charger. I think we might. Can you hear me?
What? Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, I think it might be good.
Okay. All right. Well, I feel like we have to mention this part. So COVID happens. Everybody, I guess, it's downhill for a lot of people. Everything's put on hold. All things like that. And actually, tell me, what was just the whole pandemic experience like for you personally?
What experience like for me? You know, when your phone's dying, it gets kind of choppy. Can you repeat that?
The pandemic, just the COVID-19. What was that experience like for you?
It was a learning experience. You know, that's all I could say, man. Life was challenging, but you got to keep pushing through and got to keep going. And time stopped for now.
Word. And then you met Lamont. Now here we're getting to the part where this is like what all the kids should know about, all the young hoopers. So you get to Hardwood or Lamont, I guess. You interview with Lamont, I'm guessing, or something related. Hopefully everybody knows Lamont is the Team South Carolina, which is they've been hosting tournaments for 20 plus years and have AAU teams of their own. But so explain how you got on Hardwood Inc. because all the kids, they see you around all the time at the tournaments, and just your experience with it as a whole. I know you're not off of it, as you said. You made that very clear and took it personally when I asked if you were off now, but just your experience in the past, that like however long you've been there, how has that been? You hear me? Yeah, your phone is bugging.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So before I answer, I just want to make sure we're good. Like, you can hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. So I met Lamont when I was in high school.
Okay.
Cause he had Team South Carolina, and I had friends growing up. I didn't meet him when I was in high school. I'm sorry, I knew of him. Definitely seen him around. My friends played basketball for his organization, and Hardwood wasn't even a thing yet. It didn't come about until recently. But once I got my feet wet in Charlotte doing my interviews or whatnot, people back home started to see what I was doing, and Lamont was one of those people. So he reached out to me to do interviews at his event, and we just kept in touch. So when about it was nothing, bro. It was one call, like, hey, we need him. And that call was legendary. Lamont trusted me to take over the media. When you get opportunities, sometimes it's like, hey, you're gonna be working on this person, or hey, you're gonna be working with this, and we want you to do this, we want you to do that. It wasn't like that. It was Lamont called me and was like, hey, you do media, right? Yeah, I do media. Take over. Do what you do.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. I'm not media's strong suit. I'm Lamont. I'm a director. I do other things. You know what I mean? I want to give you full access to media, and you'll find this out, but it won't be a lot of opportunities when someone's just handing you the keys and telling you to turn up.
Who told him about you? Who told Lamont like, hey, I got Nick. He's great with it and all that.
We met. Great question, bro. We met. That's all I can say.
We met.
when you in that world during that time, bro, like just getting busy, like I can't even tell you, bro. Like we met, I want to say at a gym or something. I was just doing my thing, like I was doing interviews or something. I was doing something, bro. Long story short, we connected, and he gave me the opportunity to be the media director over at Hardwood Inc. So yeah,
when it was just starting up.
Yeah, just starting up. Still starting up. It's not even 5 years old, bro.
Definitely not.
So yeah, Hardwood is just a baby, bro. It's just the beginning, bro. We got big plans over at Hardwood. So many people go in Greenville to travel to other states just to get exposure. So we plan to change that, with Zion, John Morant, Bryce McGowan, Nick Claxton.
Change the culture we got guys in South Carolina and Greenville.
For sure, bro. We got guys in the league right now going crazy. So, Greenville is not just South Carolina is not just a football state. I believe it's transitioning into a basketball state as well.
Yeah, because everybody's always like, South Carolina, they don't really have hoopers. They don't have any EYBL teams. We all have to go to Georgia or North Carolina to get on a good like AAU team, because there's no coverage. So I love what Hardwood is doing, and just trying to get even like the local kids who might not have all the funds to play on those high level teams, just to give them an opportunity. I don't think you understand how obviously you have interviewed some of the kids yourself or had people you work with interview them, but I think even me myself, like it's definitely a blessing just to understand like people are appreciating you for all the hard work you put in for like your sport, and just to get that notoriety, even though you're not playing at, let's say, the circuit level. It's definitely a blessing. And I think what you guys were doing and what you are doing is great for the community as a whole.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the squad. You're a part of that too with this podcast, bro. Pushing the narrative, bro. So, and for people that don't know, EYBL stands for Elite Youth Basketball League, which is under Nike. So,
Yeah.
you know, I can get nerdy and we can talk business, but long story short,
Long
these
story
have
short.
long story short, bro, these shoe companies, like the shoes and the brands you like, Under Armour, Adidas, Nike, they all have circuits that they run during the summer, and if you it's really about money, but if you got a good squad, you can play in it. So basically, what Musa was hitting on is, don't got a squad. Sometimes it feels like we're not getting the market. So the challenge with that and what we're trying to change is like providing our hashtag, our slogan is your platform. Um, but when you get local, we get out of state teams as well. But when you have local competition, you gotta take that serious too. You gotta take that with pride too, before we can continue to grow. So that's from a media standpoint, and that's from a player standpoint. Some players might come into it like, man, we playing that team from down the road. This ain't nothing. But it's not until you take that matchup serious, and then that's how we grow. And same thing with staff and media as well. It's like, it's just some kids from down the way playing at the gym. It ain't nothing serious. Like, no, we can't approach that. We gotta approach it like
this is serious. This is business. Like,
yeah.
Because actually, myself, I think of that like, you gotta not only think about it as yourself, but even put yourself in their shoes. Like, they probably feel appreciated for you guys doing that. And if you're trying to go up yourself, like go up to a higher status, you gotta at least put your all into this, so the higher people can be like, okay, they did great at this, and see what you can do in their business.
No, for sure, and we're creating something to where we will have that marquee. Hardwood Inc. will have that marquee name, where other states are looking to travel here, or we going toward there, because we're that big, that big organization or that big game or that big tournament, that people are talking about. So it's not until you create it, until and then that's when it's there. You know what I mean? It's almost like everybody grows up in their city and they always want to leave or say it's like it's nothing here, or or they don't do this here or they don't do that there. So just create
everybody feels like that though. Yeah, like everybody in their state feels like that.
Yeah, just create it. I mean, with the exception of LA and New York. I feel like
yeah, true.
You live in New York, you live in LA, you good.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's they got a lot of stuff to do. But what was I gonna say? Dang, there's definitely something about just you were talking about. Oh yeah, well I was even myself. I've been playing on Team SC for 2 years now, traveling and all that, and I always try and come back home, and tell myself, all right, I need to go hard in this, because I also play in the hardwood leagues just to support, and I mean the Warriors are in it, who was ran by Coach Q, who actually 2 years ago today is the day he passed away. R.I.P. Coach Q. It's crazy. It's been 2 years, but I just had to let that out and let everybody know that this is Halloween.
You said 2 years. When we are recording. You said 2 years today.
Yeah, 2 years ago on Halloween. October 31st, he passed away. So, that always is a motivator for me, at least, especially in the Hardwood League and just playing in general. I'm trying to play for him and just make what I feel like would make him proud and the people around me, and just take every matchup serious as possible, and still having fun with it. So, I mean, there's definitely motivators and everything that me and all the kids around here, all the student athletes are doing around here, more than anybody really knows.
Mm-hmm. You're doing a great job at that too, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it. Sure. Yeah, so honestly, I think that, just finishing on the note that, Coach Q, I don't exactly say he was here for the Hardwood Inc. era, but, just falling back on him, led the Warrior, I'm going to speak for him, led the Warrior, or directed the Warriors for about 10 years almost, left a mark. Great friends with Lamont, who gave you your opportunity. Just a good dude, I
Crazy.
feel like, in general.
Crazy, bro, how things go full circle. You heard this story I told you.
Mm-hmm.
Great with you. You're right. It's a great way to kind of in his advice and coach you, because honestly, that is the reason I'm here. That is the reason why I know you, and that is the reason why he is the reason why this even exists. When I was around your age, I tried out for an AAU team called the Upstate Warriors. He was the coach,
mm-hmm.
and we stayed in contact up all the way up until I graduated, because he was always in the gym. I always would see him around. He coached at jail, man. He coached at Greenville High.
Yeah.
My sister was friends with his daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't know it would come full circle like this, but like you said, Coach Q knew Lamont. They got together, came up with the idea of Hardwood Inc.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing in. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard. I can hear you now. Yeah, I lost you for a little bit.
Yeah, so me and you meet.
Mm-hmm.
We hang out. Now look, I'm on your podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
which you influenced me on. I can't lie.
So he would be looking at this moment and just be proud. I know he would. I know he would. So, and it's just the start, bro. It's just the beginning, man. Just the beginning, bro. So he left a legacy that he should and will be very proud of. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's real. It's real.
Hey, and I gotta add this one last thing.
Yeah.
He from Philly too.
He is from Philly. He is, yeah. The Eagles fan, Eagles fan.
And his Eagles 7-0 right now.
Dang, I didn't even know that.
And them Phils in the World Series.
That's facts. Now the 76ers, kind of struggling.
Hey man, this is the Get Buckets podcast, right?
This is the Get Buckets podcast.
Okay, so about some hoops. You want let's get it? Nah, let me stop.
Hey, my Celtics doing straight. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, seems what?
Cause we're not about to get into that, bro. Like we're not about to get into that, bro. We're not doing that.
Oh no, we ain't gotta do none of that. I was just letting you know.
Oh, you just letting me know that your Celtics straight, bro?
Yeah, my Celtics straight. They've always been straight, especially against your team. Had no problem. It's easy.
Hey yo.
But
easy.
That's neither here nor there. And to finish it up, man, I just had to say, I really appreciated you over these past 6-7 months. I really appreciated you. I mean, you were I know you say you're my mentor, but you were like a big brother to me that, I never had. And I just appreciate all the moments that we got to spend with each other. And hopefully you don't stay in Minnesota too long, but you gotta do what's best for you. And I hope for the best for you and everything you hope to achieve.
Appreciate it.
I think I lost you on that last part.
Oh, I just said all love, Moose. Moose, I appreciate it, bro.
Oh yeah, all love for sure. All right, man. But that'll conclude the third episode of the Get Buckets podcast. We really covered everything in this past hour, and I appreciate you coming on. Good luck out there. Good luck out there in the Minnesota streets.
Yeah, bro. Anytime, bro. For good luck in basketball season, bro, and then the rest of the episodes for the Get Buckets podcast, bro. You're just getting started, bro. So proud of you, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah. All right. Well, it's your host, Musa Moretti, of the Get Buckets podcast, powered by what we all been speaking on, Hardwood Inc. basketball. And that will conclude the third episode. Peace.